Good morning and welcome to Power Dance Arts. I am Charity C.B. Metzger. Today we are continuing with our ballet poem. Last week we did plie is to bend and elevate is to rise. I hope you remember those and have practiced them thoroughly this week. This week we will be working on Tendue. Tendue is to stretch. In our poem we say Tendue is to stretch and stretch and stretch. I enjoy this part of the poem because in our tendues we have to remember to stretch each part of our body from the tops of our head going up to our legs lengthening down and our feet pressing into the floor. So I want you to remember that as we stretch our feet to the side of us today. So come with me. Let's dance. Because I teach at an arts integrated school, I try to connect what I'm doing with the other arts. I don't know much about art or music or physical education or other things that my cohorts teach, but I do know a little bit about a little bit. So when I teach tendues, I like to talk about paint. We are using our legs and our feet as paint brushes. So our feet are the bristles and our legs are the stem of the paintbrush. We're going to use our paintbrushes, and when we paint, the stems don't bend, right? They stay straight. So that's what we're doing in our tendu. Our stem is not going to bend. Our feet will bend, but our stems or our paint sticks will not. So when you tendu, you're going to brush, and I know we don't paint like this, but you're going to brush out until your paintbrush extends, and then when you come back, you will bend the brush right back to first position. That kind of looks like a penguin. Let's try that again. So we have our first position, heels together, toes apart. We're going to brush out, lifting up from our hips, out, 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 stretch, and coming back, toe, ball, heel. And then the other foot, pressing down in your heels, lifting up from your hips, brush out, 1, 2, 3, tendu 4, and coming back. So we will stretch and stretch and stretch, making sure we're drawing straight lines. Did we get the picture? Let's try it with our feet. So let's start with our feet in fixed position. Remember, we're always engaging our abdominals. So we're lifting up our belly buttons up to our ribs. Our shoulders are down. I like to teach my beginners to make fists with their hands and put their fists on their hips. Otherwise, I start to get a whole lot of other things. So fist and fist on your hips. Heels are together, ankles are together, toes are together in sixth position. Okay, we're going to lean back slightly, take our toes off the floor, open your feet up to first position. Remember, I said that we would be stretching and lengthening every part of our body. So we are lifting up from our belly button all the way through the top of our head. Make sure your chin isn't up too high or down too low. Nicely comfortable where it sits. So remember, we're pushing down through the floor as well. So as we stretch our feet, we're going to push all the way through and then slide back. For my older students, we can again talk about our parts of our feet, our heel, ball, toe, toe, ball, heel, toe, ball, heel. So heel pushes into the ground, the ball of your foot pushes, and then your toe, and then you come back, toes on the floor, metatarsals on the floor, heels together, and making sure you squeeze. Okay? So let's try it from the side. Remember lifting up, tailbone down, not tucked, not lifted back, but just natural curve. If you need something to rest on, that's fine as well. Okay? I like to tendue from my second toe to my fourth toe, so not the big toe. The big toe for me just kind of goes on a ride. Otherwise, we kind of get a sickle, which in ballet, we don't like sickle, okay? So I tendue from my pinky toe to my second toe and then back on the floor. So heel, ball, toe, toe, ball, heel, heel, press down, toe, and toe, ball, heel. Awesome. So putting that with our point, remember we have plie is to bend, keeping those heels on the floor. Elevate is to rise. Tendue is to stretch, stand up nice and tall, and stretch, and stretch. I hope you enjoyed that stretch. Hopefully you're engaging not only your abdominals for that, but your inner thighs as you stretch out and come back in, okay? So practice that throughout the week, and I'll see you again next week. Let's take deep breaths in, out, and in, and out. Close your eyes this time. Thank you. Have a great week.